When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
For this week, we've moved our City Hall segment to Wednesday, and let's talk about some important issues with the mayor of CDN-NDG. Gracia Kasoki Katahwa is on the line. Gracia, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
So we have a lot to get to, but first things first, I want to start off with news of the week, and this is a pretty big one for the city, okay? Mm-hmm. And that has to do with, some parts of the city that are deteriorating. I'm talking about the eastern portion of downtown, the area around Barrie Metro, Archambault this week announcing that they're going to close the store. It's been open since 1896. World wars, recessions, depressions couldn't get rid of this store, but somehow what's happening in the city did it, okay? Has done that. They're going to close the store down. So I want to know, because the mayor of Montreal, Valérie Plante, your boss, right? The boss is saying this week, hey, we're going to do something. We're going to speed up the process here. What will the city do to revitalize the parts of the city that have been deteriorating at a fast pace since Projet Montreal became the administration of this city?
Oh my God. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, we've all seen that Archambault store. We've been in that sector, and it's really we have to agree that it's a sector that needs some love. Different parts of the city have been really affected. We need to be frank here. By the pandemic, it really did not help. An example of that is the village. And what they are doing in the village is that they had a huge public consultation to be able to know, how they see the village and how we could revitalize the village, for example, and make sure that it continues to thrive. So it's the same thing that we could do in that sector, make sure that we consult the people and see what we want to do with that sector. But we know that there's also already investment that are being made in the sector. At the Place Émilie Gamelin, there's a lot of investment there. There's many things that are happening, different events that are happening there. We know also that there's a difficulty with the people, the homeless people who are there. We put effort there with EMIS who is in place, and the SPVM that is in place there. So there's many challenges. We found some solution, but we clearly need to continue the conversation, talk to the people, and develop maybe a vision for the sector. And maybe one thing I want to add is that we see the Archambault closing, and it's an institution in the sector, but we also see developers like Mondev, investing in the sector and making investment that could redevelop and help revitalize the sector. So, there's not one magic solution. We're going to continue to put the effort there to mitigate some elements that are happening in the sector, but we need to make sure that we develop a vision and talk to the population for that.
And do you feel that Projet Montreal may have to change their position on some things? I think it was a couple of weeks back, Jimmy Zubris, who you know very well, he comes on this program, and of course he's an advisor to the mayor, mentioned that there would be maybe some new policies around housing. Do you think that there needs to be a readjustment from the city in order to deal with the housing crisis? Because if there's a homeless issue, more often than not, it has to, at the end of the day, deal with the housing crisis as well. Will there be a readjustment from the city on housing?
We have an important challenge in front of us. So there's a housing crisis, but there's also an affordability crisis. So we need to make sure that we have affordable housing in Montreal. And that's what our colleague Benoît Doré is doing with the Chantier Montréal Abordable. We need to come up with new solutions to make sure that, yes, we develop housing, but it needs to be affordable. And of course, we need social housing, but we know that for that part, Quebec, the Quebec government need to help us on that. So I'm going to give you the example of the Hippodrome. We went, there was a call for project for the Hippodrome for one of the lots, and the private sector didn't come up with projects. Mm-hmm. But we are confident that we're going to be able to sit down with them, talk with them, and see, okay, what was wrong with this call, the the call of project that we made. What do we have to change to make sure that you guys are interested in developing a sector like the hippodrome that has a huge potential, but we have it's really a challenge of our generation, and it's not going to be solved, magically. We need to be able to innovate, and when you innovate, there's risk that comes with it. So we had the audacity, I would say, to do that call of project. We need to sit back down with the different promoters and understand what is their need regarding those type of development projects, and we're gonna be able to find a solution. But it's a huge challenge. We need to be able to innovate, but there's risk that come with innovation, and we have the energy, we have the volonté, to make sure that we find solutions to, yes, create more housing, but making sure that the housing is affordable. And we cannot say no to that. It's a challenge. We need to face it.
And oh boy, do you have energy. I'm hearing it on the air right now, and I absolutely love it. We are...
Oh, yeah, I'm here. We're going to be able to find solution. I'm working with my colleagues regarding the hippodrome. I know my colleagues are working on other sectors of Montreal, but we need, as Montrealers, as Quebecers, to be able to find solutions for affordable housing for the people.
We're with Gracia Kasoki Katahwa, the mayor of CDN-NDG, and I'm so happy you're on. I'm happy you got to bring up the example of the hippodrome, which is in your borough. I'd be remiss, Mayor, if on this February 1st, the first day of Black History Month, I don't talk a bit about you. You were the first ever Black female mayor of a borough of Montreal.
Yes.
And so I want to know, and obviously, your background, you were trained as a clinical nurse, a nurse manager in a healthcare system for 10 years, and now you end up in this very important role. How's it going? And also your role as a role model to a lot of people in this city.
It's going well. It's really an honor for me to be the mayor of CDN-NDG. Every time people ask me, I say je suis sur mon X. I'm really at the right place at this moment in my life. There's many important and interesting challenges for me, and I have to say, it's Black History Month. As a Black person, I need to highlight the fact that my colleague from Saint-Michel, the Conseil of Saint-Michel, said we have, in the first time of history of Montreal, a black female elected official as the president of the executive committee. Mm-hmm. We have a black female president of the city council, and we have our first black borough mayor as well. So it's an interesting time to be alive as a Black person, and we have many Black people at city council. So I think we made some steps forward, but we still need to be able to work and make sure that we diversify the public function, that we diversify, making sure that Black people are in leadership role in Montreal, because we are having an impact on our society. So it's important to recognize it. So I'm proud. I'm really honored, and I'm going to continue with the same energy to make sure that we're able to, have some wins for people of CDN-NDG and Montreal in general.
And are you seeing it play out? You brought up these wonderful examples, and Dominique Olivier, by the way, has been on the program so many times right now in this City Hall segment here. But are you seeing it play out? Like, are you now seeing, because you're in this role and others are now in major roles for the city, do you see maybe it's teenagers or 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds coming to you from visible minority communities and saying, hey, because of you, I'm getting involved?
Yes, I see that a lot when I go around in the borough, and I make sure to tell the people, I was a young immigrant that came from Congo at 3-year-old, and here I am today. So it's possible. I don't want to tell them that it's easy, because it's not. We're still facing some, major challenges and barriers, but it's possible, and we need to, take the challenge and try as much as we can with all our talent to make sure that we are up there, that we are seen, that our talents are valued, and that we could, use our talent for the people of Montreal and in Quebec in general. So we need to be able to continue to think that it's possible, So everywhere I go, when I see young people, I'll tell them that whether they're Black or not, but immigrants in general, I'll tell them, look, it's possible for me, for many other people in Montreal, come to me if you have questions. If I could help you out, it's going to be my pleasure to do so. So it's part of our responsibility to make sure that we are out there telling people that it's possible.
The mayor of Côte-des-Neiges, NDG, that's Gracia Kasoki Katahwa. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you, and happy Black History Month.